Hi, everyone. Michael Frampton here to introduce our 401k plan and the Empower platform, as well as your financial advisor available to you, Billy Brigman. They're here just to give a good overview of our 401k program and how we have additional services than that are traditionally offered to make this a good, whole financial wellness opportunity for you. And they're going to cover the Empower platform. And again, Billy, as your personal advisor, is going to cover some services he has available to you and how you can take advantage of his services for financial planning and just all your individual financial situations. And so I'm excited that you get to hear from them today.
Well, thank you, Michael. I'll kick things off. I'm David Smith. I'm in charge of retirement plan sales for Empower here in the state of South Carolina. And Frampton goes to extreme lengths to make sure that they have the most competitive benefits program in totality. And last year, Frampton started a project to evaluate the current 401k program, to interview independent advisors to assist with a search to upgrade the program. And that also included interviewing a number of 401k service providers. Through that process, Frampton hired Billy Bridgman with DHG Financial or Wealth Advisors to provide consulting on the plan, to evaluate the market of 401k providers, to compare and contrast different programs in terms of costs, in terms of features, and most importantly to Frampton, the technology that you as an employee have access to help you plan, save, and manage your financial situation as a whole through the system. And a decision was made to hire DHG and to hire Empower to run the program. So with that, I'll turn it over to Billy to let him talk a little bit about his role, his firm's role in this process, and then we'll come back in a little bit and take you some of the features available through the Empower program. Billy?
Good. And David, thank you, Michael. Again, as David mentioned, my name is Billy Bridgman. I am a financial advisor with Dixon Hughes Goodman Wealth Advisors, and we are a subsidiary of Dixon Hughes Goodman, a CPA firm now known as DHG. We have 23 advisors. We serve approximately 25 offices across the Southeast, and I am a financial advisor within our retirement plan services group within the firm. And our main duty is to help plan sponsors provide the right retirement plan for their employees and meet their fiduciary duties and responsibilities as a plan provider. Now, Frampton Construction has, one of the responsibilities they put on us as their financial advisor is to provide enrollment assistance, individually tailored investment advice and retirement planning to the employees of Frampton Construction. They just want us to be your personal financial advisor. And I am available to you anytime, not just during an enrollment period. Some of the common concerns we can address are managing debt, refinancing a home, buying a home, pre-tax versus Roth contributions, if you'd like to make a change, why not? Retirement planning, in-depth retirement planning, if you'd like to get more down in the weeds and really get serious about what do we need to do, here's what we want to do in retirement, we can look into that. Or what do you do with previous 401k plans, with previous 401k and with your previous employers? Of course, if any of these questions you might have, feel free anytime to contact me. Let's plan a meeting. Let's talk about them. Do not put it off. And the biggest friend really for any investor and planning for anybody long-term is to start early. Time is your biggest friend. So let me tell you a little bit too as well about the plan that Frampton set up for you. They set up an excellent plan. They're actually going to do a match if you contribute. They will match at 100% the first 3% of your pay that you contribute to the plan, and they will match 50% of the next 2% of your compensation that you contribute. This match is completely vested 100% immediately. There's no waiting period. So if you had to leave for some reason, it would all go with you. In addition, there are some other possible discretionary contributions Frampton wanted built into the plan. If these types of contributions are made in addition to your matches, these are on a 6-year vesting schedule, which exactly means that if you hadn't been there for 6 years and you had received some of those contributions, you wouldn't be able to take them all with you. As we did, as David mentioned earlier, we did a thorough search trying to find what could serve Frampton Construction the best and their employees. Michael was very, very instrumental in trying to be sure that Frampton Construction was providing the best service she could possibly find. She really did a lot of work. But right now, David, I'll turn it over to you. David will show you the tools and the planning tools that are available to you and why we chose Empower Retirement.
Excellent. Thank you, Billy. So I've shared my screen to give you a little bit of insight into the tools that Empower offers as a participant in the Frampton Retirement Program. The landing page for your individual experience, which is personalized to your situation, really starts with a high-level view of what type of income you can expect in retirement per month based on the rate that you're saving in the plan, the contributions that Frampton has committed to making in the plan, your HSA, high deductible health savings account that you have within the plan, an estimate of your Social Security, as well as any other assets that you have that you'd like to aggregate into this experience. We also give you a lifetime income score, and a lifetime income score is the percentage of your retirement income needs that you're on track to replace based on these contributions and based on these different facets of your retirement savings. In terms of the retirement income projection, you have the ability in real time to use sliders to be able to take a look at your contribution rate and see its impact in terms of how much you're saving. So for example, if I change from a 5 to a 10% contribution, you have the ability to see what the impact is on your lifetime income score. So by moving from a 5% contribution to a 10% contribution, you see that your lifetime income score has increased or gone up to 95% of goal. So basically it allows you the ability to model different contribution rates to figure out the impact that those have to your ability to retire in the future. In addition, 3 spots allow you the opportunity to aggregate other accounts. So for example, if I click on the plus sign, I have the ability to go in and add outside accounts. So for example, I can click on my checking account carrier, enter my username and password, click link, and on the left-hand side of the experience, what you'll see is an updated calculation of your net worth. Those would be your assets and your liabilities, the assets that you have in your retirement account, any savings or assets that you have in your HSA account, any other investment accounts or savings accounts that you maintain. Your checking account can be imported, your credit card for debt management. Your mortgage can be linked to this experience as well as your home value through Zillow, which allows for this calculation of net worth. Now, once you link those accounts and bring those in, it automatically brings into the experience your budgeting. And that would be your expenditures versus your income coming in on a monthly basis. We also help you categorize where your expenditures are being made. So for example, I know personally, my experience was that restaurant expenditures too high in the year 2021. Those have to go down in the year 2022. But we pull these in and allow you to visualize where your money's being spent. We also allow you to visualize cash flow, expenditures, and how those are trending month over month. How much money you have in terms of emergency fund savings, which we found to be critically important, particularly after what we've been through the last couple of years, to make sure that you have a cushion if something goes wrong in terms of employment or other situations that may arise. And then finally, debt pay down. So your ability to track how successful you are in the process of paying down debt. As Billy mentioned, one of the services that he provides to you as a participant in the plan is the ability to help you prioritize the management of debt as well as your ability to save. In other words, how do you prioritize your short-term high-interest debt? How do you prioritize that over longer-term low-interest debt? And how do you prioritize that against the backdrop of making sure that you're saving enough so that you're on track to replace the income from Billy to help you make the right choices in terms of, again, prioritizing certain financial situations that you have and making the right choices with the hope that your lifetime income score, we ultimately get that up to 100, and that we systematically increase your net worth so that that is positive and healthy as you move or transition toward retirement ultimately. Finally, there's detailed availability of information on budgeting that's pulled in from these other accounts. So the ability to go in and drill down and look at exactly which expenditures have been made. You can use face identification on the Empower app to pull this information. So if you're standing in line at the grocery store, you can take a look at what's in your checking account, find out where your last transactions were made and what those transaction amounts were. Investing, you can take a look at how you're investing across all your accounts, including your Empower retirement account, and look at how those different holdings are performing relative to the market and also relative to the recommendations that we might ultimately make for you as an individual. And then finally, in terms of planning, it's the ability to create a systematic plan going forward in terms of savings, in terms of tracking different income events that you may have down the road, such as the sale of a home if you plan to downsize, or different spending goals that you might have if you want to upgrade your home, if you have children's education that you want to cover. So you can customize those goals to help you with the process of accumulating toward retirement and managing the process of paying down in retirement. And then finally, in retirement, smart withdrawal is the ability for the Empower system to show you the sequence or the process by which to draw down your different accounts in retirement to make sure that your money is coming out with the least or at least minimized tax implication of that drawdown. And that's step by step, year by year, to assist you with the process of really trying to replace the income that you earn today in retirement. So that is an overview of the Empower digital experience that you'll have access to through the Frampton Retirement Plan. And again, we marry this with Billy and the services that he's going to be able to provide you to talk through the utilization of these programs, of the technology, and really the best way to approach trying to reach or attain a goal of 100% readiness for retirement. Michael, I'll turn it back over to you for any questions.
Well, that was wonderful. We appreciate that very much. So I do have a couple questions just to share some additional information on. So one thing, when people see this video, is they will have learned that we moved our HSA over to Empower. Now, I don't know if you have the ability in your demo to show what that will look like, but at least maybe we can share that service in how it's an improved service from where we are now with the ability to manage those medical expenses, see the health costs in retirement, and kind of do the same sort of planning.
Yeah, HSA integration is critical in terms of your process of planning for retirement. And to go back to the digital experience, on the left-hand side, even if you don't aggregate outside accounts, by using the Empower HSA, you're going to have the Empower HSA account listed on the left-hand side and part of your assets as an individual. And what's unique about HSA is HSA, if it's used for healthcare expenses in retirement, is completely tax-free. So it's pre-tax contributions, it's pre-tax growth of principal and compounding of that amount, and then expenditures that are used for medical expenses in retirement are completely tax-free as well. What the Empower program allows you to do is go and model what your healthcare expenses look to be in retirement, and then helps you figure out how much you need to save through that high deductible health plan to match those expenditures. So for example, my wife and I might have $250,000 of healthcare expenses above and beyond what Medicare is likely going to pay for us. So with respect to that, if I can make those payments or cover those costs completely tax-free, that might end up saving us over $100,000 in taxes by, again, paying that complete tax-free versus taking taxable withdrawals from the 401k plan. So that's a little bit of information in terms of what the Empower experience offers and a little bit of background on the value of having HSA available. If it's doable, and it isn't always doable, but if it is doable, it's best to pay your small healthcare expenses today out of pocket and allow the HSA program to accumulate compound tax-free over time and be able to pay your retirement-based healthcare expenses completely tax-free.
And that's one thing when we're encouraging some of our younger team members who are healthy and don't require much visits to the doctor. And I always encourage them to start with the HSA. Likely they're not going to be anywhere near a $1,000 deductible or a $5,000 deductible. So might as well capitalize on HSA while you're young and see what a difference it makes by the time you retire and you have slowly built up this pot of money that, it's just there waiting for you.
That's exactly right. And the longer the time horizon to retirement, the more substantial the gap is in terms of the benefit of using the HSA, a long-term healthcare savings program, versus using it as a transactional debit card to pay short-term healthcare expenditures that are below the plan deductible.
Right. So Billy, a couple questions for you. Again, focusing kind of on two different demographics in our business. We have a lot of new grads, people right out of college, in an apartment with their first full-time post-grad job. What do you say to them about participating in a 401k program, maybe with the plans to hopefully soon be able to buy a house or something like that? What do you say to them about contributing versus saving or planning in that perspective?
That's an excellent question. I know when you first out of college, the finances are going to be difficult at times. You're on a tight budget. But think about this: when you contribute to a 401k plan, two things here. Time is your biggest friend in planning for retirement and returning wealth and building your wealth over time with your investments. Compounded returns over a long period of time can really grow your nest egg. The other thing to look at when deciding whether to contribute to a plan or not is if you contribute the money, you're getting a match. If you contribute zero, you're getting absolutely nothing from the company. If you want to increase your salary from your company, you're getting 4% more by just contributing to your plan. The other thing I know that people don't tend to understand is if you don't contribute to this plan, 5 years from now, the money that you don't contribute, you'll have no idea where it is. If it is put into the plan, you will see a good growth, or you will see a very good sum of money built up that you would have had no idea where it would have been if you hadn't been doing it. I promise you, it would just disappear into maybe a Starbucks, sandwiches, maybe you wouldn't know where it would be. So that is my biggest concern about in people when they don't start, contributing to a plan, is that they are not going to keep track of the money. If they actually sit down and plan, they would be, I believe, able to put at least something in to take advantage of the match.
Yes, thank you, Billy. And then also on the other end of that demographic, maybe we have some older team members who just haven't taken advantage of a 401k program, and now a little bit later in life, they look at it and see, okay, well, this retirement isn't as far away as I thought it would be. And what should their perspective be like?
Well, that is where the planning really needs to get started. Their biggest friend has now disappeared, time. They need to get started and look at what they need to do now and take time to look at what do I need to put in right now, and can I do it? It might not be possible, but at least have an idea of where you need to be if you can get there. And it's kind of hard sometimes. It might be too late for some, but you don't know until you take a look at it. It's never too late to start contributing. It really isn't.
Okay. And if someone is interested, and I hope that everyone is interested in meeting with you about their financial planning, what's the best way to go about it?
Feel free to call me on my contact information. I hope I get the chance to meet everyone that when you send out an enrollment meeting request, that they will receive an email from me with my contact information that you send as well. If not, contact Michael. She has my contact info. Be glad to speak with anyone, either by phone, set up a meeting through email, Zoom meetings, or in person. It just takes a little time to contact me. I'll be glad to set it up.
Thank you. And David, another question for you. One thing I loved when I was interviewing Empower was your customer service. And say it's a late evening and the market took a downturn and someone's panicking, that you actually still had someone for them to call and talk to. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, central to the Empower experience is that it's not only digital, but it's human interaction and advice as well. And Empower staffs a participant call center in Denver, Colorado, and we have about 1,500 associates now in the advisory and call center, and they're available from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. during the weekdays. We also maintain Saturday hours, and the weekdays can get pretty busy. So in the mornings on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., you have the ability to reach out to Empower as well. At Empower, we can give you information about your account. We can steer you in the right direction in terms of the digital experience that we reviewed. In addition, we can have advice-related conversations. So if it's a question that you want to pose to Empower around investing and savings rate, should you do Roth versus a traditional contribution to maximize your tax benefits based on your situation, we can have those conversations as well. It's not as in-depth of an experience as being able to sit down with Billy, but we can provide you the support that you need, advice that you need to make the appropriate choices. And one other thing I'll add, in terms of the question you asked around college tuition, college debt, the Empower experience is really designed to be a comprehensive financial experience, not just to help you manage your 401k plan. And included in there are educational modules about a wide variety of financial topics: purchasing a home, refinancing debt, college savings. And there's actually a student debt refinancing application available through the Empower website to allow you to go in, evaluate your total student debt, evaluate different options that might be available in the market, as well as the ability to actually refinance that student debt. And in the general market, there's a variety of scrupulous and unscrupulous student debt refinancing avenues available. This is a vetted program through an organization called Common Bond to provide credible student debt refinancing. So again, this experience between what we offer at Empower and what Billy offers is really intended to be a comprehensive financial wellness experience.
Great, David, thank you. And I'm glad you mentioned that student debt refinancing, because that was something I liked. When I learned about it, I thought it was awesome, and I have since forgotten about it. So thank you for bringing it up. That really is a great overview of the program and what we offer. Now it's kind of a call to action to our team members to reach out, to make the appointments with Billy, to take advantage of these resources. And we hope that you do. That's why we pulled this team together. We want to offer something more than a check the box benefit. Yes, we have a 401k program. We wanted it to be more. So I hope that you utilize it. And that will conclude our presentation unless there's any final comments.
I think that's it. We appreciate the opportunity to work with your organization. Frampton's taken on a strong leadership role in terms of providing relevant, up-to-date technology to your employees around retirement and around financial wellness. But we look forward to working with everybody into the future.
Yes, thank you, Michael, and everybody too. We are just so proud to be able to be working with Frampton Construction and to be working with an employer that takes as much, that really wants to provide their employees with these services and takes the time to be sure you're aware of these services. So thank you, Michael, for letting us work with you. Look forward to working with all your employees in the future. And if my contact information, I will try to get that put onto this video at the end of the video, and look forward to seeing you and the rest of the company sometime soon.